Now for today's quick shot of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
Welcome to another Suds podcast episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. I'm your hostess, good old gal Juliana, and with me today is good old boy Dave.
Hey, would you like to buy a monkey?
What kind of monkey is it?
Well, I didn't actually bring the monkey with me, but I was just trying to gather interest in the monkey if I were to have it for sale.
Dude, you tell me you want to sell me a monkey. Of course I'm going to be interested in a monkey. Monkeys are cool pets.
But they do throw their feces. And you already have me for that.
So, yeah, I was going to say, so do some people that I know of.
Oh, I shouldn't have said it was me.
I was trying to keep that under wraps. Oh,
should we move on?
Yeah, I guess so. And now for a brief interlude from our sponsor. Thanks to Warby Parker for supporting Sips, Suds, and Smokes. Get boutique quality, stylish eyewear and sunglasses at revolutionary prices. Try them for yourself by going to warbyparker.com/sips to order your free home try-on kit with free shipping all around. So today's going to be kind of cool. We're going to be tasting and discussing some beers from Japan.
But are they from Japan?
That is the question.
The beers we'll be discussing today are from Japanese breweries, but they may not have been brewed in Japan. We have Hitachi no Nest Red Rice Ale from the Kyochi Beer Company, Gingo Kogen Beer from the Gingo Kogen Beer Company. You know, that's creative naming. And Kagawa Blanc from the Far East Brewing Company, and Kagawa Rouge from the Far East Brewing Company, and Sapporo Premium Beer #1 from Sapporo Brewing Company.
Wow.
So while we're drinking these beers and talking about them, we'll also be rating them from 1 to 5, with 1 being stinky and 5 being awesome. I'm a 5, everyone.
You like to think you're a 5. Okay. So the first beer that we're going to talk about is the Hitachi no Nest Red Rice Ale from Kyochi Beer Company. And forgive me for mustering all this stuff up. So the Kyochi Brewery was established in 1823. That's right, 1823.
Dang.
By Kyochi Gihai, the headsman of the Kunosu village. His family was collecting rice from farmers as land taxes for the Mito Tokugawa family. He began his brewery with the idea of using the remaining rice stalks in the warehouse, and at the time in Japan, a new political movement began to reform in the Tokugawa regime. Fujita Toku, one of the movement's activists, advocated an ideology to build a new organizational government with the reverence of the emperor, and this thought led to the Meiji Restoration. I don't quite know how that relates to anything to do with the brewery, but it was on their website.
But they had a lot of meetings about it, and they got thirsty debating it, so they had to have beer to drink to quench their thirst so that they could talk more, and that's how this ties in.
Gotcha. Okay, so in the autumn of 1996, Kyochi started brewing beer under the name Hitachi no Nest Beer with that cute little unique owl character logo.
The owls are not what they seem.
Aww. Over the years, Kyochi Brewery has gained lots of worldwide attention and winning numerous awards at numerous beer competitions. And in 2000, they developed a brew on the premises facilities. I like the way the Japanese speak. Anyways, this red rice ale has complex sake-like flavors with malt sweet notes and hint of strawberries in the nose and on the palate. It has an intriguing mix of sake, malt, and bitter notes in the finish.
She did say sake and not sucky.
Yeah. And of note, the hops is Chinook.
So I don't get a lot of hops in this, but I do get a lot of strawberry. It's almost like a dried fruit, like a fruit leather. intensity. It's very heavy fruit flavor. And it does have a sake-like characteristic. I don't drink as much sake as I would like, but this does have that sort of, not quite wine, but it's a definite cleaner taste to it with the fruit. And I really, really like this beer. I've never tasted any beer that tastes like this.
Yeah, of note, the color on this is got this really cool strawberry juice look to it. I mean, it's pink. It really is pink. Yeah. But to echo your words, yeah, this is something I've never had before. It's got this slight fruitiness to it, but it also tastes like sake. Sake?
Sake.
Sake.
You can say sake.
And there's a crispness to it too, like almost effervescent.
Yes.
And I thought that was really interesting. But it's so cool and it's so unique. You gotta try this. You really do. And what did we give this beer?
We gave the Hitachi no Nest Red Rice Ale a Suds rating of 4.
Very well deserved on that. Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about the Ginga Kogen beer, which the brewery was started in 1996 as a project to economically develop the Sawachi village by Isao Nakamura, who established Higashini Hon House Company.
Maybe they should read the website.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways.
So this is a Hefeweizen style beer that they brewed because they have a similar climate and water to Germany. I'm guessing because of their latitude or longitude or whatever.
Yeah, so it's in northern Japan, so they have a lot of heavy snowfall.
Yeah.
Which gives them the great fresh water.
So I'm not a big fan of Hefeweizens myself, just because of the heavy esters that usually come, like the banana and clove. This one doesn't have a lot of that. It's definitely got some of the Hefeweizen characteristics to it, but it's just enough for a guy like me who's not a big Hefe fan. So if you were going to judge this as a Hefe, I would say it's not great. But for someone like me, I think it's delicious. I really like this beer a lot.
It's interesting because when I think of Hefe, I think of the bubblegummy, banana, clovey thing going on. And there's none of that.
It's barely there.
Yeah, there's none of that in the nose. And then when you taste it, it's got this sort of lagerness to it.
It's clean.
Yeah. But I mean, like, lagerness more so than what I get out of Hefes.
Well, because think about how clear it is, too. You know, like Hefes are usually cloudy.
Yeah, this isn't cloudy at all.
Crystal clear.
Yeah. It's pretty much... It's really impressive for what it is, and it's interesting that Japanese breweries would want to brew a German Hefe style.
Well,
you know what I mean?
But think about how, like, you like Japanese whiskeys, and some of those whiskeys they brew to be similar to Scotch. You know, and I think Japanese people, they want to be able to do anything great, and they use what they have to make it really good, and so I think they see it, and I think one of their brewers was trained in Germany, probably. So
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, so what'd you think of this beer?
I really like it. I like, again, I'm not a huge Hefe fan. This is just Hefe enough for me.
Well, for those that aren't looking for something that's banana clovey, then this is right up your alley.
Yeah, if you don't want to drink some juicy fruit, I say try this beer.
Yeah, and it you can taste the wheat that's in it. So very.
It comes in this awesome blue bottle.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool bottle. Yeah. It's a lot different than the other bottles that we have at the table. So what did we rate this beer?
We rated this beer as a Suds rating of 3.
Okay, so far we have a traditional Japanese beer that's made by a Japanese brewery.
In Japan.
And then another beer that is kind of German.
Made in Japan.
To be continued, guys. Hey, Dave, what's in the box?
Well, there's Seymour, Wilby, Crane.
Aw, did you get new dolls? I mean, action figures?
No, they're the frames in my new Warby Parker home try-on kit. I went to warbyparker.com/sips and chose 5 boutique quality frames to try out for free for 5 days. Then I just shipped them back for free and order whichever pair I want. They even have the Warby Parker app if you want to order on your phone.
Cool. Do you know which pair you're going to get?
Well, with prices starting at $95 even for boutique quality stylish eyewear with prescription lenses, I started out on Team Wilby, but now I think I'm switching to Team Seymour too.
Try Warby Parker for yourself and see how good you look in their frames. Go to warbyparker.com/sips, that's lowercase SIPS, to order your own free home try-on kit with free shipping all around. Hey, welcome back, everyone. So we're discussing some beers from Japan that, well, may or may not be...
From Japan.
Yeah. So the next two that we're going to discuss are from Kagawa. Kagawa. So...
But they're really not.
Yeah. It's kind of
So they were so the name of the company was Nippon Beer Company out of Tokyo, and in 2015 they changed it to Far East. Get it? Far East Brewing Company or beer company, and Kagawa is one of the lines of beer that they produce. And the first one is, which one are we doing?
The Blanc.
The Blanc. Okay, so that is a Belgian-style beer with yuzu.
And yeast-derived phenolic aroma.
Yeah, okay, so that's definitely Belgian.
Yeah, it is. And this is, okay, so this is 8%.
So this beer smells clean. Like, you don't get any major... I don't get any major aromas coming off of it.
No, if you told me this was a Belgian beer, I would say my nose is stopped up and I couldn't smell a bloody thing.
But it's fruity. There's like this hint of fruit, and as it warms up, you get that a little bit more. And I think that's the yuzu. It's kind of citrusy and nice, and it's very clear. It's like a clear golden color. And when you drink it, it is so good.
This is unbelievably surprising to me.
I don't even know how to describe all the flavors.
Yeah,
that are going on here.
There is so much going on. This is so Belgian without the aroma.
Being Belgian, yeah.
Right, exactly.
So I think this is kind of the flip side of, being a Japanese brewery who wants to brew a German style in Japan. This is, we're Japanese, and they call them phantom breweries. So we call them gypsy breweries like McKellar and Evil Twin and Tool and places like that, where they don't really have a location. They go and brew their beers at other breweries. They come up with a recipe and the concept and let them be brewed at other places. But so they had actual Belgian breweries brew these Belgian style beers for them.
And the the creaminess that's in this is so spot on. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a very renowned Belgian brewery that they're doing their gypsy brewing with, because this tastes so traditional.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that you don't get the aroma of a very traditional Belgian
It all comes
beer.
out in the flavor.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
all there.
Exactly.
And almost, you mentioned the creamy mouthfeel in it is so, it looks like it would finish dry and just be thin, but when you taste it, man, it's so warm and full in your mouth. Well, that sounded dirty, but it's really
it's
delicious.
It's a huge flavor. And to look at it at the bottle is so plain Jane that, I mean, when I saw it on the shelf, we took
look
it
past it. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. And then you realize, oh, it's a Japanese beer. We got to try this. I never heard of it before. But it really impressed me, and I'm so happy that we tried this. What did we give this?
We gave this one, the Kagawa Blanc, a Suds rating of 4.
Now, the other Kagawa beer that we have is the Rouge. Again, this is a Belgian-style ale with roasted malt, but this time they added Sancho.
Sancho.
And Sancho is a pepper.
Japanese pepper.
So what'd you think of this one?
Now this one, you get it in the nose. I mean, you know what it is right from the beginning. It is Belgian. From the aroma, there's candy sugar in the aroma. There's the malt sweetness. And you even get, I think, some of that pepperiness, too, before you even take a sip.
Mm-hmm. Now, the color on this one is very distinctive of what it's called. It's called Rouge, and it's Rouge for a reason. It is a gorgeous, dark, reddish brown. And the creaminess factor of this one is even so much more than the Blanc.
So, and as far as Belgian style, I'm guessing like a triple?
I was going to say more quaddy.
More quad? You're probably right.
Because I'm getting Belgians a lot of dark fruits.
Yeah. I really get the hint of that pepper on the back end of it.
But it's nice. It's pleasing. It's not pungent.
It's not a burn. It's just a nice little spiciness that carries you out as the taste goes across the back of your palate.
Yeah, it reminds me of those really good peppercorn saisons that we've had before, where the pepper's there in the back and it lingers just slightly, but it's really outstanding.
Yeah, you get the whole thing with this. You get the malts and the candy sugar and the pepper and the yeast. It's incredibly well done beer. I mean, it's a stellar beer.
Again, which makes me, between the two of these beers, it really makes me lead me to believe, hello English, that this was brewed at a very well-renowned Belgian brewery, because you can tell that there's a lot of love that have gone into both of these beers.
Yeah.
In the style, in the ingredients, in the execution of them. If you didn't tell me that these were Japanese beers, I would swear that they're Belgian.
Absolutely. And that's kind of an interesting thing, I mean, do they have to be brewed in Japan to be Japanese beers, even if they're Belgian style? But I mean,
right.
We in America, they brew Belgian style beers all the time, and I think you would definitely say they're American, but they're brewed here. So that's the weird thing is, does it depend on where you brew it or who builds the recipe?
I don't know. But whatever the case, they did a really great job. And
if you want to buy this beer, you've got to look for the Japanese name.
Yes, exactly. So what did we rate this beer?
I think we had to give this one a 5, man.
Yeah.
It's just simply outstanding beer.
Now, last but not least, to throw a little bit of confusion
in an already confused scenario,
we're going to talk about Sapporo.
This is actually the American version of Sapporo. When I bought it, I didn't realize that, but now that we've tried it, it's a good, clean lager, and I really enjoyed it. What did you think?
I thought it was really good. I mean, it's lagery, it's European lagery, but it makes sense.
It is definitely lagery, and I think we gave this lagery lager a 3.
So overall, some pretty interesting beers from Japan? Japanese brewing companies. Okay, Japanese brewing companies that some of them are brewed all over the place. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and you can catch more episodes online, including our regular weekly show. I'd like to thank my co-host today, good old boy Dave. I'm surprised you're actually thanking me. Well, it says so in the script, so I have to do that. You're welcome. This is good old gal Juliana. Keep on chuggling, and see you next time.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.